Hello! Today we are going to write effective sentences for our story. To be successful today, you will use time adverbials, commas in lists, and questions and commands. We are on plot number 5 of our story today, Meeting the Sun.
Good morning everyone and welcome to Thursday's English lesson. So just showing you our story plan to start with, so I'm revealing each plot point each lesson. So we've looked at the first 2 plot points and today we're going to look at the next one, which is called Crow Will Go. So can you think of any ideas of what you think might happen in this next part of the story from that plot point title?
Up through the storm, brave Crow quickly flew. Though the snow blurred his vision and the wind, how it blew. Closer and closer he came to the sun, but his troubles and trials had only begun. Crow flew through the blizzard, then to his delight, he entered Sun's kingdom of dazzling bright light. But wizened old Sun was in such a deep slumber, he opened his eyes and roared as loud as thunder. "What is all this racket? I've no time for whining. I'm tired and I've just spent all summer shining. What I will give you is a long branch of fire, which will help keep you animals warmer and drier." Part 1. Let's show time has passed by using adverbials. Initiate. We're going to gather time adverbials to show that a considerable amount of time has passed. Can you sort the adverbials below into those that show that a considerable amount of time has passed and those that show that a short amount of time has passed? I will read the adverbials. Just then, many months later, all of a sudden, after almost a year, after a while, after travelling for weeks and weeks, several seasons later. Can you think of any more time adverbials of your own to add to the list? Model. I'm going to choose my favourite time adverbial from the list on the previous page that shows that a considerable amount of time has passed whilst the crow was flying. Many months later. Now I am going to use my time adverbial in a sentence to show that it took a long time for Crow to reach his destination, the final place he was travelling to. My example is, many months later, the crow finally reached his destination. Enable. Now it's your turn to write. Write a sentence which uses a time adverbial to emphasise the crow's long journey to the sun. Challenge. Can you include a different verb to reached? Using commas in lists. Initiate. Number 1. Collect words that show how daunted the crow is by the mighty sun. An example is weak. Number 2. Write some adjectives to describe the sun. For example, flaming. What words did you think of? Here are some words that show how daunted the crow is by the mighty sun. Small, powerless, helpless, vulnerable, weak, insignificant. Here are some words that describe the sun. Bright, brilliant, dazzling, fiery, intense, flaming, golden, and shimmering. When we are listing items, we use a comma to separate them, and we take a short pause where the comma is when reading them. We do not put a comma between the last 2 items, but we put the word "and" there. For example, apples, pears, plums, and grapes. Model. Now I am going to write 2 sentences. The first sentence will show how the crow felt next to the sun. I will choose from my adjectives list. In my second sentence, I will include 3 of my powerful adjectives to describe the sun. My example. He felt very small next to the mighty sun. It was golden, magnificent, and splendid. Enable. Now it's your turn. Write a sentence including your adjective to show how the crow felt. Then write a sentence listing 3 powerful adjectives to describe the sun, using a comma and the word "and" correctly. Part 3. Question and command sentences. Initiate. Can you think of some question words which begin a question type of sentence? So for example, will, can, would. They are words that start questions. How might the crow speak? Let's think of some adverbs to show how crow speaks to the sun when asking for help. Some examples are timidly and kindly. Can you think of some bossy verbs to show how the crow might take the stick from the sun? For example, grab or carry. Model. I'm going to write a question sentence from the crow and a command sentence from the sun, using the adverbs and words we have collected. Question. Will you help us and melt the snow? Asked the crow timidly. Enable. Now it's your turn. I am now going to write a command sentence from the sun, using the adverbs and words that we have collected. My example is, take this stick of fire, said the sun angrily. Now it's your turn. Can you think of a different bossy verb that the sun might use and put it in the sentence? Your challenge is to use a different word for said.